Ever feel like your AI results are just meh? You put in a request, but what you get back is kind of generic, maybe a little boring? Well, what if I told you there's a professional playbook that can completely change the game? Let's dive in.
I think we've all been there, right? You ask the AI to do something, and the response is just lackluster. It feels like it's not really getting what you want. But here's a thought. What if the problem isn't the AI at all? What if it's how we're asking? Well, the solution comes from a really cool and kind of unexpected place, a professional AI playbook developed in Nepal for their government staff. Yeah, they built a whole system to get consistent, high-quality results, and today we're going to crack it open and see what's inside.
So, how do we fix our results? It all starts with one core concept: the prompt. Seriously, getting this one thing right is the key that unlocks everything else. So, what is a prompt? Put simply, it's just the instruction you give to an AI. And the training material we're looking at uses this fantastic analogy. Think of it like ordering at a restaurant. The quality of what you get on your plate depends entirely on how clearly you placed your order.
And this slide introduces what they call the tea shop analogy, which is just brilliant. Look, if you walk into a tea shop and just say, "Give me tea," who knows what you're going to get? It could be anything. But if you say, "I want a large, strong black tea with milk, less sugar, and a little bit of ginger," boom, you get exactly what you were picturing. Your AI prompts work the exact same way.
And that brings us to the golden rule of working with AI, and it's right here on the screen. Garbage in equals garbage out. It's that simple. An unclear, lazy prompt will always lead to an unclear, unhelpful result. But a clear prompt, that leads to something you can actually use. Okay, so now that we get the whole garbage in, garbage out idea, let's talk about the tools themselves. Because a great prompt is one thing, but pairing it with the right AI for the job, that's when the magic happens. Let's quickly meet the specialists. So here's the breakdown from the playbook. For your everyday stuff, report writing, brainstorming, general tasks, ChatGPT is your go-to, your all-rounder. But if you're dealing with a massive document, and I mean massive, like over 200 pages, Claude is the specialist you want. And for anyone who lives in spreadsheets and data tables, Gemini is a total game changer because it plugs right into Google Workspace. Okay, now for the first major technique from the playbook. It's a simple, powerful framework called RISC. Think of it as the 4 essential pillars that hold up a great prompt. And here it is, the whole framework in one clean visual. RISC. That stands for role, instruction, scope, and constraints. Honestly, just burning this into your memory is a huge first step toward getting professional-level results. Let's start with R for role. This is such a game changer. You don't just ask the AI a question, you tell it who to be. Give it a job title, a persona. When you say act as an experienced planning officer, you're not just getting an answer. You're getting an answer from a specific expert point of view. It instantly boosts the quality. Next up, I is for instruction. And the key here is to be direct. You need a clear, unambiguous command. Start with a strong verb. Not, "I was thinking maybe you could help with a report," but a direct, "Prepare a monthly progress report." There's just no room for misunderstanding. Then we've got S for scope. This is where you put some fences around the task. You have to remember, an AI can literally talk about anything in the world, so you need to tell it exactly what to focus on. Saying, "Focus on the Hedotech Kathmandu Road project," tells it to ignore everything else and give you a super relevant answer. And finally, C is for constraints. This is where you do the fine-tuning. You can specify the tone. Is it formal, casual? You can define the length, the format, like give it to me in bullet points, and even the language. This is all about making sure the final output looks and feels exactly the way you need it to. So, RISC gives you an amazing structure, but for the really important stuff, the professional-grade work, there's another layer. It's called the CLEAR model. Think of this as your final quality control checklist before you hit send. This model is what makes sure your prompt is not just good, but totally comprehensive. It gets it ready for serious professional use. So let's break down what CLEAR actually stands for. Okay, so C is for concise and complete. Keep it brief, but make sure all the critical info is in there. L is for logical sequence. You want to organize your instructions in a clear order. E is for explicit format. Tell it exactly what you want, a memo, a table, whatever. A is for adaptive tone and role, just like we saw in RISC. And R, this one is so important, refine through iteration. We'll come back to that. And wow, this slide says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you have the weak prompt. Write a report about tourism. That's a recipe for a vague, useless mess. But look at the clear prompt. It's an executive command. It specifies the length, the exact campaign, the time frame, the data points to focus on, the challenges to include, and even the exact number of recommendations. The difference in the quality of the output you'll get is just night and day. And get this, according to the training materials, spending just 1 or 2 extra minutes to write a really clear prompt can save you over 30 minutes of fixing and rewriting later. I mean, think about that. That is an insane return on your time investment. This brings us back to that all-important R in clear, refine. You have to remember this. The first thing the AI gives you is not the final product. It's a first draft. Your job is to work with the AI. Use follow-up prompts to tweak it, polish it, and guide it until it's perfect. It's a collaboration. And this leads to a really vital point they made in the training. The AI is an incredible assistant, for sure. But it is not the decision maker. The person in charge is you. The fact-checking, the final judgment call, all of that accountability, it stays with the human.
So you see, when you start using frameworks like Risk and Clear, you totally change your relationship with AI. It stops being this sort of clumsy, simple tool and transforms into a genuinely powerful, reliable partner, one that helps you produce professional-level work way faster than you could before.
So there it is, the professional's playbook for getting so much more out of AI. It's all about shifting from asking simple questions to giving structured, thoughtful commands. You have the tools now, you have the frameworks. The only real question left is, what are you going to build with them?